We've all heard of cringe baby names, right? Things like Nevea or Khaleesi. But have you ever heard of a name so crazy it makes you wonder if Elon Musk's kid got off easy with whatever this is? Well, Japanese people have. As you might expect, generally, Japan takes names very seriously. Parents not only have to consider the sound of their child's name, but the meanings of the characters in it as well. But that's not all. A lot of parents consult with experts in a field called Seimei Handan, which is like special Japanese fortune-telling based on names. The so-called expert considers things like how many strokes it takes to write the name, which definitely shouldn't be 4 or 9, as those are bad numbers. Don't forget that each character can have many different readings in Japanese. This one character, for example, can be read 10 different ways. For this video, though, forget everything I just told you, because today we're talking about names that break all of those traditions and make up their own rules. They're called kirakira name, sparkling names, and they're really weird. Imagine you're a teacher, and you're looking at the names of students in your class. You're reading out all the normal names like Daisuke, Asuka, Naoki, and then you get to a girl with this name. Well, this is just a noun. It's the word angel, and it's pronounced tenshi. You know, like the cruel angel's thesis? Is this a mistake? Angel, you wonder? Until someone tells you that this is their name and it's not pronounced tenshi, it's pronounced enjeru. A Japanese person with the name tenshi, which you're supposed to pronounce enjeru. Are you confused yet? It's like if your name was Maximilian, but it was supposed to be pronounced Pegasus. Well, maybe little Enjeru-chan's parents just really loved Shaggy.
Can be a fool, son. What about the long run?
I bet you didn't expect to hear that in this video. Next, we have this name. These characters mean yellow bear. Are we naming a human baby or a stuffed animal? Well, alright, let's ignore the absurdity of yellow bear for a second because it gets worse. The question is, how do you pronounce it? Well, it's not a real word, but if it was, it would most likely be pronounced kiguma. But that's not how you pronounce it. How do you pronounce it? Well, I'll give you a hint. Japanese women love Disney. Yes, this baby name Yellow Bear is pronounced Pooh. I get it, the baby's cute and they want to give it a cute name, but imagine you're Yellow Bear trying to find a job with the name Pooh on your application. Here's one that's a bit more normal. This is the character for moon, and normally it's pronounced tsuki, but this girl's name uses it in a word that normally means lunar rainbow, and she pronounces it Luna. When asked if she wanted to change her name, she refused, saying she likes it. Another example of someone who uses the moon character in their name is someone you might know, Yagami Raito from Death Note. Remember, this is supposed to be pronounced tsuki. So yeah, even Yagami Raito has a sparkling name. Believe it or not, so many people were giving their kids these kind of names that in 2012, Shinzo Abe addressed the issue. In a speech, he gave the example of this name, which is read Pikachu, and said, "Children are not pets. We have to provide guidance for parents who would name their child in such a way." God, imagine having to introduce yourself as Pikachu. The father of Pikachu, or at least someone who claims to be, was on Yahoo Answers defending his child's name, but over 1,000 people liked the best answer that was critical and cautionary, advising a name change for the child's future prospects. A common theme you might notice is that these kirakira nemu are often just the English word. The reason for that is because Japanese people think English is really cool, and you look smart if you can use words from other languages. These characters mean holy and mother, and as a word, it is pronounced seibo. But as a name, it's supposed to be read Maria. Yes, like the Holy Mother Mary from the Bible. There was a woman who ran in a mayoral race somewhere who had this name, and people on Twitter found her. By the way, I think most languages except English and French call Mary Maria, so maybe we're the weird ones for calling her Mary. This name is another noun, and when it's a noun, it's read kishi, which means knight, like a medieval knight. But remember, it would be weird if they just used the noun reading as someone's name. So if this is someone's name, how are you supposed to pronounce it? Well, you might be able to guess by now. It's Naito. For this next one, I actually knew a girl with this name. Again, it's a noun. It's normally pronounced uchu, and it means outer space. But this girl's name was pronounced Cosmo. Honestly, I'm biased, but I kinda like this one. Although they weren't called it yet, some of the earliest examples of kirakira nemu come from a legendary historical figure called Moriogai. He has a massive Wikipedia article, but the relevant part for us is that he spent many years studying medicine in Germany and becoming fluent in German. Because of this, he gave all 5 of his kids German names written in Japanese using Chinese characters. These are his kids' names: Otto, Otto, Mari, Mary, Furitsu, Fritz, Annu, Anne, Louis, I guess. This is basically the Japanese person equivalent of those your name in Chinese tattoos. Kira nemu were very popular in the 90s and early 2000s, which means that the kids who were given these names have now grown up and we can see how their names affected them. And luckily, we have the perfect case study. Enter Akaike Oji-sama. This guy is a serious contender for most unfortunate name in this video. Let me explain. You might have heard Japanese people call each other's names with san at the end. You know, like Kimura-san, Sugihara-san, or... Now, for situations where san still isn't formal enough, there's a juiced up version, which is sama. You know, like if you're using this sama, it's very respectful. The way I phrased it might make you think that sama is rare, but it's pretty common actually. It's used a ton in customer service and business-to-business situations.
前原様、ありがとうございました。
それでは佐藤が戻りましたら、秋山様よりお電話があったことを申し伝えておきます。
The word for customer even uses it. Okyakusama is literally customer plus sama. Anyways, this guy, Akaike Oji-sama, his name includes sama in it. So you're basically calling him sir when you say his name. And if you want to be formal, you need to double sama him. That's how his mail comes. But hold on, because it gets worse. His name is Oji-sama. You know what Oji means? Prince. He literally grew up with the name Prince Sama, and he's talked a lot about what that was like. First, why did his parents choose this name, you might ask? Apparently his mom thought of him as her one and only, her special prince. What about his dad? Oji-sama's mom submitted the naming paperwork behind his back. As you might expect, his name brought him a lot of unwanted attention and ridicule. When he'd go to the mall in his small town, people would point and whisper. News spread fast, and eventually people online were joking about the existence of a real-life Prince-sama. Akaike Oji-sama often brings up one specific memory in interviews. It happened on the first day of high school. He was doing a one-on-one introduction with a girl, and when he introduced himself and said his name, the girl started laughing at him. Here's what he said about how he felt when that happened. I couldn't really get angry about it. I think even I'd laugh at my name, so I just went along with it. Another interesting memory for him happened at the hospital. He was really embarrassed when the nurse called his name like this. Akaike Oji-sama. Sama. And every time he would have to give his name at places like karaoke, they'd always think he was lying about his name and make him show ID. But things started to get better when, at age 17, Akaike Oji-sama was reading a manga called Kochikame and came across this panel. One character was down on their luck and asked for advice, to which another character suggested changing their name. Until this point, Oji-sama didn't know it was possible to change your name. He did some research and found out that anyone above the age of 15 can change their name in Japan, as long as they have a valid reason and can pay the small fee. When he told his parents that he was thinking about changing his name, his mom was upset and really against it. She stopped talking to him for a while actually. On the other hand, his dad was completely fine with it and said he supported the decision. In 2019, after he graduated high school, Akaike Oji-sama finally changed his name. He chose his new name to be Hajime for two reasons. Hajime means beginning, so Akaike felt like he was pressing reset on his life. And he liked a certain Marxist economist from the early 1900s named Kawakami Hajime, and also a certain character from the Idolmaster Cinderella Girls. Anyways, when he got his name changed, he tweeted about it, which went massively viral. It got more than 200,000 likes within 24 hours and trended on Twitter worldwide. He took the opportunity to reach out to other kids with unfortunate names. To all the others who bear the cross of Kira Nemu, don't give up hope. You can change your name after age 15. Another controversial naming in Japan happened in 1993 when a couple tried to name their child Akuma, devil. Well, more specifically, the father named the child despite the mother's strong opposition. Why Akuma? He says he wanted a memorable name that would lead to more interesting and unique experiences for his child. Initially, the name was accepted by the government because it used standard characters, but within a few days, they changed their mind and told the parents to choose a new name. The father got super mad, took it to court, and it became a massive public scandal. In the end, he was not allowed to use the name Akuma, so he went with Aku, which just means bad. But he wasn't fully denied. The second character is comprised of parts that spell out the missing ku and ma from Akuma. Now, are Kira Nemu something the government feels the need to take action over? It turns out, yes. Just a couple months ago, in February of 2023, the government submitted a draft proposal that would require people to register how their name is pronounced. This would ban names with weird readings like Pooh, Naito, and Angeru. Surprisingly though, it stops short of banning names like Pikachu and Akaike Oji-sama because they're actually based on the original readings of the characters. Okay, actually, sorry, the bill was revised. Now, names that are not human-like and come from fictional characters could be prohibited, so Pikachu's out. But alternatively, names that come from foreign words can have a chance to be accepted now, so Angeru and Naito might be okay, even if they're written in Chinese characters. I have 2 bonus memes to show you today. The first is this woman named Abe Princess Candy. She was discovered in 2017 when she was interviewed on the street for a TV show called Getsuyo Kara Yofukashi. It's one of the only 2 Japanese TV shows I've ever gotten into, and it's pretty good. Anyways, I don't need to explain why her name is weird in Japan, right? Her name is Princess Candy. Why? Well, it turns out her mom is from the Philippines, and apparently Princess is a popular name there. I know I have a lot of fans from the Philippines, so you guys can fact check me in the comments. But anyways, Princess Candy loves her name. She says she's never considered changing it and is glad people can remember it very easily. She jokes that if she was to change her name, she'd go even further and change it to Queen. The second bonus meme is this guy named Ichizawa Miki. Despite having kanji, his first name is Mickey. Yes, like the mouse. He made the news in 2021 when he was arrested for, well, bad stuff that I can't talk about in this video. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Thanks for watching. Thanks to my patrons and to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description to get 83% off and 3 months free.